This is bad acting, but we'll make it work. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is good. Oh, Joel, welcome to the Super Fantastic Exchange, where we have an inspired conversation with leaders, thinkers, and motivators. And on today's episode, you will not believe who I've got as an incredible guest. This guy right here. This guy, Joel Zeff. Joel, are you reading my book?
Yeah. Gary, what? Are we doing a pod? I thought I don't know why I was connected to Zoom right now, but a lot of times I will read great books while I'm on Zoom, and all of a sudden a podcast breaks out.
It's incredible how these things happen.
Yeah, I'm reading your super fantastic workbook.
Yeah.
We call it a workbook or we call it a book? It's a workbook.
You call it whatever you want to call it.
I love it. I love it. I said before, it's a great idea to have all the information in one place, accessible. Managers can work with their team and journal and talk about goals and write everything down. I love it.
Thank you.
Look at this. Awesome.
Almost sounds like a plug.
It is a plug. I got your other book, the Super Fantastic Me. So apparently, I love that you don't come up with new titles. You
recycle
just something after Super Fantastic. I love that. And then the Super Fantastic Who? Yeah, right. I'm looking forward to your next book, the Super Fantastic What?
I'm making a note.
I love it. The Gary Gregory collection.
That's right. And here's the Joel Zeff collection. Make the right choice.
You've worked a lot harder than me.
I type in bigger fonts.
Yeah. I need to that book came out a while ago, and to be honest, I do need to focus and write another book.
Yeah.
And I think I have, I kind of want to experience things and, work with clients and I just don't want to come up with a book that's a repeat of this book. And so I want to focus on, some other topics and messages. So I think I'm ready. 2024 could be the year of the new book.
You heard it here first. And just make sure you update the mock turtleneck guy story. Make sure you I like that one.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. People still wear those mock turtlenecks.
That's kind of scary.
Every once in a while, you're like, yep.
Where'd that come from?
But when the book came out, there was a lot of mock turtleneck. It's more, I guess the new joke would probably be the vest.
Yes, the little puffy vest.
Either the puffy vest or the what's that material? That Columbia, vest. I guess that would be the new mock turtleneck.
Yep, I agree.
Yep,
I think you've got it in you. I believe in you, sir. I believe in you.
Hi, Gary. How are you?
Hey, Joel. How you doing?
I'm great. I don't know.
Hey, this sounds like you might as well. Let's just go.
I'm excited because I understand that I'm your first repeat guest of this incredible podcast.
Out of all the guests, I've had over 100 episodes, Joel.
You work so much harder than I do.
I don't know about that. I just get to have fun, talk with people like you. You're my first repeat guest. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I am honored. Have you talked to your wife and your mom, your two listeners, about me coming back?
They're excited. They're on the other side of my door, just waiting with bated breath.
Yeah. Why are you bringing back Joel? I've already seen. This guy looks really familiar.
What's up with the jacket? I don't understand.
Why do you guys? Let's tell your listeners, viewers. So Gary and I went out. It'd be great if you should show the photo. Gary and I went to lunch, and I'm
gonna add a note.
We went to lunch. I guess it was early December, I believe, or maybe late November.
Yeah.
And nice restaurant. I mean, we're not rolling into Chipotle. I just mispronounced Chipotle. I go there like once a week. That Chipotle, the kids go to this place. They get a burrito bowl, and it's rice and beans and a meat, the Chipotle.
I was about to get a sponsorship, but I'll have to renegotiate now.
No, I can't believe I just Chipotle. I go there like once a week. Anyway, so we're at a nice restaurant. I roll up in this jacket because I had assumed from the first podcast you wore your sparkle jacket because I popped during the virtual days. I would wear this during my virtual presentation. It was kind of a running joke, and sorry, and it popped out every once in a while in a live event. And then we did the podcast. You're wearing your fantastic jacket, and so I go to lunch wearing my jacket, expecting you to have your jacket. What happened, Gary?
I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball badly.
Yeah.
Didn't wear my jacket. In fact, it was a very dull sweater that I was wearing. It was relatively embarrassing.
Yeah, it was. And did I take my jacket off? No. And go to the car? No.
Nope.
I wore my jacket the entire lunch.
You extended grace to me for dropping the ball.
I'm going to pop a cough drop if that's cool.
Go right. You pop away.
You don't mind if I do drugs during the podcast, do you?
Hey, just go off screen first and then come back. That's all I ask. I'm hoping
Drop's a drug.
Chipotle won't mind that. So
no, Chipotle does not care. Anyway, I wore the jacket at lunch. You did not wear the jacket at lunch.
That's
so
correct.
we continue the running joke with my second appearance on the podcast in the sparkle jackets, and I'm excited about it.
I am too. I can't wait. And then, Joel, when we were having a conversation during lunch, it was probably about an hour lunch. I laughed for about 55 minutes. I think
Did you buy? I forget.
Maybe.
I think you bought.
Maybe. It was worth it. It was absolutely worth it.
It was.
You can't pay the price of admission. And if that's lunch, I'm paying. I'm buying.
Yeah.
It was quite the show.
It was. Thank you.
We talked about your harmonica story.
We did. Would you like me to share the magic harmonica?
I would be honored to see the magic harmonica.
It goes with the jacket.
It does.
So I don't know. Your viewers probably didn't see my interview in July of 2022 with you, but for those who don't know, I'm a keynote speaker and MC, and I use improv and humor to talk about teamwork and change and leadership and creativity and innovation. But I started my career as a newspaper journalist. I have a journalism degree from the University of Kansas, and I'm very proud of that. And I was working at a newspaper in Michigan when the Dallas Times-Herald, Dallas used to have two newspapers, the Dallas Times-Herald recruited me, hired me, brought me down from Michigan to work in Dallas. And that's how I moved to Dallas. 6 months later, the paper closes and I get a phone call. Come clean out your desk. You've lost your job. The paper's closing. Tomorrow's the last issue, which it's not my fault. A lot of people blame me, Gary. It was not my fault. I had just joined 6 months.
Blame you for the newspaper closing.
Yeah, it wasn't my fault. I was so I was 23. Excuse me, 1991. So I'm 23. Sorry, Gary. I got the cough drop in my mouth. So we'll edit that out, right? We'll edit that cough out in post.
Totally. Yeah. Post production, the whole works.
So I get a phone call. Paper's closing. Come clean out your desk. So I walk out the door from my 1-bedroom apartment with a couch and a bed. That's all the furniture I had. And I grabbed this harmonica. And I didn't often walk out the door with grabbing harmonica. This was kind of a rare occurrence. It was just, I don't know why I made that choice. And I bought this harmonica. I went to a college lecture. I don't remember the college lecture. I'm guessing it was a harmonica player because I bought this harmonica at that lecture. And so I go down to the newspaper, clean out my desk, and everybody has a range of emotions. People have lost their job. People have worked there for years and years and years. I had just joined 6 months ago. I didn't have a lot of ties to anything, but a lot of people had worked there for decades. And so, you have people that are confused and sad and upset and disappointed and angry. There's a wide range of emotions. And, I'm kind of viewing this. This is really the first time I had lost my job like this. And I'm kind of, watching the choices that everybody is making as I'm, stealing office supplies. I don't know if it's stealing. I think I took a stapler and a 3-hole punch. But people are walking out with they're just taking stuff off the walls. And people are walking out the door with just bundles of books and equipment. I walked out with a 3-hole punch and a stapler.
Memories.
And so memories. I still have that 3-hole punch. It's very close. I'm very close to that 3-hole punch. Anyway, so somehow I find my way on the back loading dock, and the media has gathered, television stations, radio stations, other newspapers. And I take out my magic harmonica. This is a moment where I like to explain to everybody that I have no musical ability. I'm tone deaf, but magic harmonicas allow you to make some sound on the instrument that sounds like you actually know what you're doing. And I can do kind of one blues note. Right? So I pull out the harmonica. I look at the media on the back loading dock, and I do this. I go, I just lost my job. I got no money. Come clean out your desk. You just came and moved here 6 months ago. You got to get out. You're not wanted here. The newspaper is closed for business, and you have to leave. You lost your job. Too bad. Go away. You got no money. You got nothing. Sucker. I don't know if those were the exact words.
Sounds great.
But it was something like that. And so, and literally you could, the moment, it was like a movie moment. You could actually hear the cameras zoom in. You could, like, what is going on? Because that's not what, when people lose their job, they're not, that's not the reaction you expect, that someone's going to play the harmonica and act like an idiot. And that was my choice. And here's what happened. I swear to God, I don't see the face of the person that said this to me. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but somebody grabbed my elbow and said, "You will never work in this town again." And they were serious. It was like a film noir movie. They're like, "You got to stop. You'll never work in this town again."
Oh, man.
True story. And I can't see I just remember the words. I can't see the face of that person. I don't have that memory anymore. And so, and that night, like, two local news broadcasts kick off their broadcasts with me, this idiot, playing the harmonica as this city institution, 100+ year newspaper has closed. And they start out with this 23-year-old kid playing the harmonica poorly. And then the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, there's a huge photo of me playing the harmonica in the newspaper the next day. I had friends across the country. Remember, this is 1991, before social media. Friends across the country like, "I saw you on the news playing the harmonica," because other stations would pick it up. It's a big deal when a major newspaper closed. And so what this taught me, why I'm telling the story, other than here's the story of my youth being an idiot, but it's basically saying I made a choice, right? I don't control that I lost my job. I don't control that the newspaper closed, but I control how I react to losing my job. I control how I react to the situation. And, I guess a lot of people would think your first reaction would be, you're distraught. What am I going to do next? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do for money? How am I going to find another job? Am I going to have to move cities? And sure, a lot of people thought about that, and I'm sure I had some of those thoughts as well. But my main thought was, I'm going to control how I react, and I'm going to choose to have a spirit, a passion, and energy. I'm not going to let them put out my spirit. I'm not going to let the newspaper closing or whoever made that decision and I lost my job, that they're going to defeat me, that they're going to silence me and say, this is how you are supposed to be. And I'm saying, no, I'm choosing how I react. And I'm going to choose to have a passion, have an energy, be positive, and have fun with it, and see what happens next. And that was my choice. And I think that's what the magic harmonica taught me, that we don't control change. We only control how we react to change. And it's our choice in how we react to situations, whether we lose our job or somebody says something stupid or somebody does something or somebody makes a mistake or some disruption happens within your business. It's our choice in how we react to change. And that moment, so I lost my job. So what did I do? I started doing open mic stand-ups. That's when I started doing stand-up comedy. Looked in the newspaper, found where the open mics were. Took some workshops with the local improv group, auditioned for the group, got into the group. All these things happened because I lost my job that day. And from that, somebody asked me to come speak at their event, Texas Instruments, in the mid-90s, said, hey, we're having this executive retreat. Come up, play some of those improv games with us that you're doing on the weekend. And that was the beginning of my speaking career. And if that moment where I played the magic harmonica, where I lost my job, if that moment didn't happen, would I have gone on and started doing stand-up and started doing improv and finding that love and making that connection, and then going on and having that moment with speaking at the Texas Instruments event, and then a few years later speaking at an event for Allstate Insurance and recording the video and creating a demo tape. And all that led to 2,500 events later. I'm here on the podcast in a sparkly jacket with the great Gregory telling the story about the harmonica. And everybody should have that moment, whether it's a harmonica or something else. And that's why I always call it my magic harmonica, because that moment taught me so much about how I needed to approach my career and what happens within your work life, because you don't control everything. And sometimes you do lose your job. Sometimes you do lose a client. Sometimes somebody, for me, I get an email, I'm like, oh, we're going in a different direction. Someone made it the poor choice of not hiring me as a speaker. Why would they do that?
That is a poor choice. That is a poor choice.
Poor choice. Geez. But that's part of life, and you have to choose how you react. And that's what the magic harmonica taught me.
That's incredible.
And that's the story.
And then I love that, because in that moment you had one of two choices. You could have gone in with fear that you would never work in that town again, as that person grabbed your elbow and said,
yeah,
or you just go with controlling your own reaction to it and play that magic harmonica. Everyone should have a magic harmonica moment.
Yeah. And you know what? It reduced the stress of the moment, right? Obviously, I lost my job. Okay. I just moved here 6 months ago. What am I going to do next? Where am I going to go in my career? And so it's taking that choice. There were so many choices wrapped up in that. And I really don't know why I made that choice, or why I decided to take the harmonica down to clean out my desk, or how I found my way to the back loading dock where the media, but it was all meant to be. But it reduced the stress and really kind of let me empower myself and take control of the situation, because there's this chaos and disruption that you just lost your job. And, to the economy, it was 1991. The economy wasn't very good. It was December, you're right up on the holidays. And so you're making that choice. And that choice for me was, I am going to be passionate. I'm going to be energized. I'm going to try to be positive, and I'm going to reduce my stress. And it was all because of the magic harmonica.
And I love that story so much. And from 1991 to today, I'm not going to count the years because I'm not great at math. What is it that
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I don't have my
It's a lot of
calculator.
years.
It
Yeah.
is a lot of years. I don't want
24 plus 9, 33.
to. Hey, you are good. Not only are you a talented harmonica player, speaker, keynote, you're a mathematician. Joel,
Yeah.
you're like a full
33.
utility. You're a utility man. I love it.
33 years. And this year, 2024, is my 30th anniversary of I was working at an agency in 1994, and I quit the agency to go on my own, doing PR and marketing, and writing. And so that was September of 94. So this is my 30th anniversary of not having a job.
Congratulations.
30th anniversary of leaving the corporate world, going on my own, being an entrepreneur, finding my way. And at that time, I was, doing PR, marketing. I didn't even have speaking as a possibility. Soon after, I did the Texas Instruments event, but still, even then, it wasn't like this was going to be my career. I had no idea how that clients hired keynote speakers and MCs, that there were these big corporate events and speaker bureaus, and that it was part of this world. I had no idea. I was completely naive. And fast forward a few years, in 97, I made a little demo video. I'm learning about what's happening. But even then, I thought it was just going to be part of my overall business as a writer and a PR professional. And so once you send it out there, and just like anything, if you follow what you love, what you would do for free, and believe me, I spoke for free a lot, or someone gave me a $50 gift card to
To
Chili's.
Chipotle? To Chipotle?
I don't think Chipotle was out in 1997. I don't think there was a Chipotle. No, but there's a Chili's. And if you gave me a Chili's or an On the Border gift card,
Ooh, man.
I was living the dream. Living the dream. And then
No.
you threw in like a hoodie with your company name on it.
Or
Forget
a
it.
coffee mug.
I love the
Wow.
swag.
Yeah.
And and I just loved what I did. I loved it. I love sharing what improv taught me. I love sharing my love of improv. I love playing improv games with team members and executives and every different type of industry, and meeting these industries and these corporate cultures. And just like anything, your name gets your name gets passed around if you do a great job.
Mhm.
Somebody's always looking for somebody. And so whether you're in your world of property management, or a leasing agent or a property manager, or you're in finance or insurance, or a speaker like me, everybody's always looking for somebody they can trust and somebody that does a great job. And people want to help each other and pass their name around. And that's what happened. And by 99, it had basically taken over my business. And all of a sudden, I'm a keynote speaker and an MC. And like I said, 2,500 plus events later, here I am on the great Gregory Super Fantastic podcast.
Second time around. Man.
Yeah. So I'm doing something right, baby.
Right. 2 times on the show, and
2 times.
And a glittery jacket to boot. You must be doing something right.
Something's going on. And you know what? I am extremely appreciative, and I am realize how fortunate I am to find what I love and to share what I love, because I don't really work. I have a passion. I don't have necessarily a job. I have a passion, and I get to share that passion with people and make them laugh and tell them what I think and talk about the choices that improv taught me, and create this energy and a spirit at whatever conference or event that I'm, whether I'm an MC or a keynote speaker. And so I am just extremely fortunate and lucky, and I love what I do. And I always recommend to anybody, figure out what you would do for free, what you just absolutely love to do, and follow that. And I promise you, that's going to turn into that will turn into something. You put the energy and effort and time into what you love, that will turn into something. But do what you love. And it doesn't necessarily have to be some kind of artistic endeavor. It can be anything. I mean, my first job was at a movie theater, making $2.85 an hour. And I learned at that job, as you're cleaning up people's trash and, you're cleaning the hot dog machine and you smell like popcorn all day, is that no matter what job you have, do it passionately and do it with fun and do it with purpose and do it with energy. And you're going to be rewarded and you're going to be fulfilled. And that's what that taught me. And I approach any job that I have with that same energy and attitude.
And I think that's such a valuable thing, Joel, that you're sharing is no matter what you are doing in the moment, give it everything.
Be great.
Because just in your world, people watch you and they refer you. And if they're watching you clean up popcorn and you're doing it terribly or you're doing it with passion, there's a huge difference in the way they will refer you for the next opportunity.
Right. I love going into various events and meeting people who are the best at what they do, or excuse me, or they love what they do and they're passionate about it. We're going to edit that out in post. We're going to edit that
Totally,
raw.
totally.
Where you meet just an incredible orthodontist. I did an event for an orthodontist and the passion that they have for the community, the dental community in their city, or a group of financial advisors from around the world, inspiring, and it's so energizing to meet these people from around the world, and they're all doing the same job across the world and helping people with their with insurance and finance, and they're the best, and it's just inspiring that we all want to have success. We all want to work hard. We all want to take care of our families. And it's kind of moments like that you realize and how incredible, that opportunity is and how inspiring it can be.
But that inspiration for each, no matter what, again, whatever business you may be in or what role you're in at the moment, it's the choice. We go all the way back to your harmonica story. You made a choice walking in to, hey, you know what? I'm not going to let this circumstance bring me down. Here's my choice. Right. Hey, I'm going to go speak to Texas Instruments. Here's my choice. I'm going to go do all these things, but this is the choice that I make to bring the best of me to that.
Right.
And
take advantage of the opportunity. You'd be surprised. And look, perfect example. You started this podcast, right? And I don't know, maybe it's just your mom and grandma that are listening, but
pretty close.
It's just mom, and that your kids don't.
No, they watch like a minute of it. Like, all right, Dad.
They're like, all right. But no, look, I mean, you took, there's so many opportunities, and you just take that first step, and it's amazing when you take that first step where you're going to go. And you put a little time and effort into that passion. And you said how many guests? You said 100 and how many?
Over 100.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That you've put all, you've created this, you put the time and energy, and it's all again about making that choice and finding that inspiration and taking that first step. And you're surprised, and you don't have to do everything today. All you have to do is take that first step today. And then put a little more time into it tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next day. And you realize that you love it, and it's fulfilling, and it's rewarding. And then look where in a week, in a month, in 6 months, you turn back and look what you've accomplished and what you've just done by just putting that little bit of effort each day.
Yeah. Finding that passion, making that choice to go after it. Recognize it's not going to be great at first, but as you said, you put in the work, continue to grow, and you grow your passion with it. But it's all about that choice to keep moving forward with what you jump into. Joel, man, this is like worth the price of admission just to listen to you.
We are just throwing it down today. We are solving some serious issues
I'm telling
today.
You, I owe you another lunch. We may just go to Chipotle.
I would love to go to Chipotle. That's my favorite.
We'll make it happen.
Why do they keep saying Chipotle? I don't get it. I missed the first part.
Well, just rewind. You can listen to it. There's some good stuff
There
through
is,
all of this.
there's some good stuff. Just cut
Joel,
that.
I'll
Post.
cut it. A lot of
Yep.
post editing. This is going to take me a while to get out to the public, but it's worth it. Joel, there's a quote in your book that I absolutely love, and
Oh,
page 46.
yep.
It reads, "Fun pays back dividends in attitude, creativity, and product." Are you just confirming my source?
Yeah. Uh,
It's in the
just
middle of the
checking.
page. Yeah, right there.
46.
Page 46, right at the top.
46.
I've highlighted it
Wow.
because it
That's
was
nice.
important. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds like me.
It does sound like you.
Yeah.
Just,
Do we want to explain that, or
I just like to bring it up.
I think my whole career is based on that quote. And it's just about bringing that fun to my audience through my love of improv. And even when I, do a program where I'm doing maybe an MC program where I'm not even doing improv, it's still what guides me, and kind of what is that guiding light is the fun. And when you have fun, great things happen. And it's not to say, it's easy to say, oh, well, you have a fun job. You're up on stage, people are applauding, you have a fun job. Maybe, I don't have, you're talking about somebody else. Maybe I don't have a fun job, and you can make any job fun. It's your choice. We talked about the movie theater. I was making $2.85 an hour. I was 15. Okay. Cleaning popcorn machines, clean up trash. If you have ever had a job where you clean up people's trash, I would not consider that necessarily fun, but it's your choice to make it fun. And I remember working with the people there, and we made that choice. And that whether we're, cleaning an auditorium or clean the popcorn machine or the hot dog machine, or, or the manager would have these, crazy, ridiculous jobs. You'd have to, polish the brass or clean the outside windows, just ridiculous busy work. But it's your choice to make it fun. It's your choice to have that energy and the right attitude. And I think you can have that attitude and have that energy in no matter what job you have. It's always a choice, and it's your choice. And that was my guiding principle for every job I had, to make it fun. And I might be in situations that is not necessarily described as fun, but that's going to be my guiding light. I'm going to enjoy this moment. I'm going to enjoy this day, wherever it brings me. And I have days as a speaker where I would not consider it fun, where, the situation that has come up, it's not necessarily fun. My last event in December, I get off the plane, I start feeling sick. I got, I had pneumonia. I don't necessarily consider that fun, but that's part of the job. And, part of the job is traveling, and part of the job is sitting next to somebody hacking up a lung. And that person,
That sounds fun.
yeah, sounds a lot of fun. But you just try to have that guiding principle. Not every moment's going to be fun, but I think that should be the guiding principle. And that fun, I think it builds creativity. It creates better leaders. It creates more respect and a partnership for teammates. It creates an attitude and an energy that allows you to be more successful, a better communicator, a better innovator, a better writer, a better whatever. And I think that's my guiding principle.
Just choosing, and again, that just all goes back to choosing fun, choosing or making that choice to have fun, making that choice to be the best, or just to make the best of whatever situation
Right.
that you're in at the moment, and just choose fun. Have that choice to be the best with it.
I think it's just a choice. It's an attitude choice. And I always talk about, so I bring audience volunteers up to the stage, and they make a choice the moment they get up from their table or their seat, and they come up on stage. They don't know what improv game I'm going to ask them to do, what their role is going to be, what their responsibility is going to be. But they all make a choice, and that choice is, I'm prepared for change. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm prepared. I'm open. I'm flexible. And what that does is it changes their whole attitude. Their attitude is, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm open to it. And I'm excited about it. And that changes their energy, their tone, their attitude, their approach, just being prepared, being open and prepared for change. They make that choice. And you could see it physically, through their body language. And they come up on stage and, I'm explaining whatever game or exercise we're going to do. The audience is going to give them positive support. I'm going to give them positive support. But it starts with their choice in what their attitude is going to be when they walk up on stage, because they've just volunteered. And that, to me, is a perfect example of it's always your choice. And when you make that choice, awesome things happen.
That is so good. Joel, I could talk to you for hours and hours. We've come to the end of our time.
The end is here.
The end is nigh.
The end of the Gary Gregory Super Fantastic Podcast with Joel Zeff. Welcome to the podcast. Probably the greatest podcast in the history of all podcasts. Probably the greatest podcast host in the history of podcast hosts. He's a double G. G squared. GG for short. The Gary Gregory Show. You can call him Gary. You can call him Gregory. Don't call him Gregory Gary. It's going to be Gary Gregory. The great Gary Gregory Super Fantastic Show. I missed that last note.
That was all right.
Yeah.
Work on my speakers.
I got a little spittle.
It's all
a lot of people. Yeah, the harmonica creates a lot of spittle.
We'll clean that up in post credit.
In post
production. Yeah, totally post.
Just
totally
add some guitars, some drums.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but we'll do that.
That was the bass.
The bass. Slapping some bass.
Slapping some bass. Boom, boom, boom. That was the bass.
So,
Gary, it was awesome. Thank you. Congratulations. Have a happy new year. Have a fantastic 2024. I hope we have the opportunity to share a stage at some point, at some association event in the future. So I will be hosting a book club of the super fantastic
stuff.
This is the new one. The super fan, so much work. I'll be hosting a book club of the super fantastic potential. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or my website, joelzeff.com, to sign up for the Super Fantastic Potential Book Club.
I thought I'm going to start one for Make the Right Choice by Joel Zeff.
Ah, it meets on the same day.
Same day, same time.
Meets exactly the same day.
Hey, and new book. We're going to hold you to it. New book.
Yes.
Sometime?
Yep. 2024.
All right. I want to be one of the first ones to purchase one after your mom and grandmother.
Sure. That'd be great.
All right. Joel, thank you again.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today on the Super Fantastic Exchange, probably the best podcast in the history of podcasts because of Joel Zeff. Remember, create your super fantastic, inspire others, and we'll see you on the next episode.